Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're going to give people a couple of seconds to come on in. I hope you're all having a good day today, a good Wednesday. See, you're still coming in strong, so we're going to give it a couple more seconds until it stops or it slows down a little bit. And then we'll get started. All right, it seems to have slowed down, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello, all, and welcome again. Thank you for joining us to learn about the 2026 Critical Language Scholarship Program and Application, with special focus on CLS Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. The CLS program is a program of the U.S. Department of State with funding provided by the U.S. government and supported in its implementation by our team at American Councils for International Education. My name is Sydney Sparrow, and I am a senior program officer with the CLS program at American Councils, and my languages are Japanese and Korean. So I'm going to pass it over to my colleague.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin Carpio, and I serve as the Alumni Engagement Officer with the CLS program here at American Councils for International Education.
Thank you, Caitlin. We're glad to have you. Today, we are going to cover an overview of the CLS Chinese, Japanese, and Korean programs. And you can please feel free to use the Q&A box as we go along. We will have time at the end of the presentation to answer any of your questions. And we do hope to have one of our alums come join us, but she won't be available until the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions for her, if she's able to come, please ask them at that time. Please note, all content in this webinar is the property of the Critical Language Scholarship Program and is provided only to registered attendees. Any form of recording or redistribution, including screen recording, is prohibited.
The CLS program is an intensive summer opportunity funded by the U.S. government. Summer 2026 will be the 20th anniversary of the CLS program, which was launched in 2006 as part of the National Security Language Initiative. This interagency initiative was designed to expand the number of Americans who study and speak languages of strategic importance to the United States' national security, economic prosperity, and engagement with the world. The CLS program is proud to have supported over 10,000 Americans since the program's inception. By supporting American students in developing advanced language skills, CLS prepares them to contribute to a globalized workforce, strengthen U.S. economic leadership, and advance national security.
So let's first start off with Korean. So why Korean? Learning Korean offers unique advantages, especially if you're interested in STEM fields, international business, or government work. South Korea is a key player in global innovation, known for its breakthroughs in technology, energy, and biotech. That growth has led to expanding partnerships with US companies and research institutions, making Korean language skills more valuable than ever. Few Americans reach advanced fluency in Korean, so proficiency gives you a real edge, whether you're working with major corporations, engaging in cross-border research, or navigating international policy. South Korea's global influence continues to rise through, again, both its cutting-edge industries and its cultural reach, from K-pop to cinema. Similarly, let's talk about Japanese. So learning Japanese brings a wide range of benefits, especially, again, if you're interested in global business, tech, and design. As some of you know, Japan is a major cultural and economic force known for its deep traditions and groundbreaking innovation. Proficiency in Japanese can significantly boost your career options, and advanced Japanese skills are still rare among US professionals. So, like Korean and Chinese, being fluent can help you stand out in competitive fields like tech, business, international relations, where strong cross-cultural communication is key. On top of that, the long-standing political and security partnership between Japan and the US means language skills are especially valuable for those interested in diplomacy or global policy work.
And finally, why consider CLS Chinese? Well, for one, Chinese is one of the world's most widely spoken languages, with 1.3 to 1.5 billion, with a B, people speaking some variant of Chinese, and an approximately 800 million speakers of Mandarin Chinese, the most common and widely used variant. For another, Chinese is the official and dominant language of the People's Republic of China, a country of immense global influence and importance to the US. Chinese is also the dominant language in Taiwan and is a commonly used language in countries with large Chinese diasporas, such as Singapore and Malaysia. It is also one of 6 official languages of the United Nations. Chinese is a gateway to a culture and civilization that has existed for thousands of years and has produced enormous quantities of art, music, literature, and treasures, while exerting significant influence over much of East and Southeast Asia. If you're more concerned with the modern era, Chinese continues to be one of the most in-demand languages among employers in both the public and private sectors due to its international relevance. Chinese is an invaluable career skill for a wide variety of industries, including business, technology, and government roles. For Korean and Japanese as well, many alumni have gone on to careers in STEM, education, and public policy, or have pursued further study and fellowships abroad after the CLS program.
So let's talk about the program levels for all 3 languages. Students applying for levels with prereqs, which Chinese, Korean, and Japanese do have, may substitute other language learning experience for formal classes, such as self-study, tutoring, high school coursework, or knowledge of the language from their home environment. There is space in the application for students to describe their experience and how it meets the proficiency requirement for the level to which they're applying. So if you look on the screen now, you will see the prereqs for Chinese, Korean, and Japanese, with Chinese and Korean requiring 1 year of academic study, starting at advanced beginning levels, going to advanced, and Japanese starting at intermediate, requiring 2 years of academic study. So students applying for these languages with prereqs must plan to meet the requirement in the beginning of June before the CLS program begins. So for example, if a student is taking beginner Korean or Chinese this fall semester and will take another semester of Korean or Chinese in the spring, then they have completed 2 semesters by the time the program starts in June, and therefore will be eligible to apply for the advanced beginning level for the Korean or Chinese programs. If a participant were to be below the minimum level expected in a certain language, they may struggle to keep up with their peers and the curriculum and will not see as much progress because they are not appropriately prepared, which can cause added stress. Again, it is very difficult, not impossible, to try and keep up with coursework and daily classroom interactions at a level that is too high above current skills. Participants make the most language gains when they are studying at the appropriate level. The 2026 CLS program will take place over the course of 8 weeks between June and August. Small group classes and activities will be facilitated by faculty and staff at host institutions abroad. Each of our partner institutes will host 15 to 20 students, further divided into smaller class sizes by language level, which ensures strong learning outcomes as well as more opportunities for the cohort to share and develop interests with each other. During the summer, participants agree to a language policy that requires them to speak only in the language they are studying in all program settings, including classes, institute grounds, excursions, and daily interactions. Due to the program's intensity, students should be prepared to fully commit to the CLS program and set aside other obligations like independent travel, research, or internships.
Beyond the structured language classes, students immerse themselves in the culture through activities like tea ceremonies, calligraphy lessons, traditional medicine demonstrations, and tours to contemporary and historic sites. Outside of the classroom, participants are also assigned to language partners from their host communities to help practice everyday conversation skills. CLS alumni report that their language partners are often their favorite part of the program and become quick, lifelong friends. As you've heard today, the CLS program emphasizes the importance of fostering meaningful connections with local cultures and individuals in the host country or region. To that end, students are placed with host families or dormitory living with local students to further support cultural immersion.
As mentioned earlier, each participant is paired with a language partner who is a student at the host institute or a member of the host community to practice speaking outside of the classroom for 3 hours every week during the duration of the program. And as Caitlin shared, CLS alumni report that their language partners are often their favorite part of the program and become lifelong friends. Again, due to the language policy, those language partners will speak only in the target language to give students that opportunity for peer cultural exchange, as well as language practice. In the past, students and their language partners have enjoyed activities such as going to karaoke, attending community festivals, or even cooking together. To create a successful relationship with their language partner, we encourage students to be flexible and open to new things while also sharing their interests. Further, it is essential that students are respectful of their language partner, consider cultural differences, and recognize that this is an opportunity to learn about different cultural perspectives while developing their language skills.
It is important to note that participants apply to a specific language and not a location. Past CLS institutes have been held in a variety of cities in South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and mainland China. Last year, CLS Chinese programs were held in New Taipei City and Tainan, Taiwan. For CLS Japanese, the program was held in Okayama, Japan. And for CLS Korean, the programs were held in Gwangju and Busan, South Korea. Sites for 2026 will be announced in the spring of 2026. If you are selected for a CLS award, you will receive information about your placement shortly after notification. CLS strives to foster a deeper understanding of the host culture and community, and excursions and cultural activities are some of the ways that we build on this. These activities include experiences that students may find difficult to arrange independently or expose them to lesser known aspects of Japanese, Korean, or Chinese culture. Cultural excursions in the past have included a visit to Taiwan's National Palace Museum, interviewing members of the host community in Japanese, or visiting the Korean Institute of Ocean Science and Technology. Each excursion helps to provide students with deeper insights into life in the host country. Now we want to show you a little bit more insight into what a day in the life on the CLS program can look like. So we have a video taken from one of our CLS digital ambassadors who participated in the CLS Chinese program in Tainan, Taiwan.
Taiwan, and here's a day in the life of a CLS student in Tainan, Taiwan. So every day I catch the bus at 7:30 and walk to 7-Eleven to get some soy milk and tea egg. Campus is so beautiful. Today we had a cute campus dog join our class, and we have class from 9 to 11 with a break in between. Then I had lunch with my language partner, went back to campus to have my one-on-one session from 1 to 2. After that, we had our weekly RD meeting where we discuss upcoming events and do fun bonding exercises. I went to the library to finish up some homework and walked to a local shaved ice cream store where I had a mango ice. It was so delicious. Then a whole bunch of CLS students and language partners met up for karaoke. Karaoke is big in Taiwan, and here's us singing a Chinese song together. After that, I got dinner with my host family and had some amazing soup dumplings. And that sums up a typical day as a CLS student.
So now we want to discuss some of the program benefits of the CLS program. So for some, the most exciting thing about the CLS program is that it is funded by the US government. Costs covered for the overseas program include round-trip international airfare to your program site, in addition to any of the applicable visa fees, housing and meals, classroom instruction, and the cost of program-sponsored cultural programming and group trips in the host country.
The significant language gains is also another benefit of the program and are also exciting. In just 8 weeks, participants typically improve by 2 proficiency sublevels on the ACTFL scale, which is equivalent to completing 1 year of college level language study. Language gains are recognized with an ACTFL OPI certificate upon completion of their program, and undergraduate credit through Bryn Mawr College, which is documented on an official transcript. Of course, language gains are just one part of the impact. CLS also supports students' long-term growth through their career opportunities and a strong alumni community. Other great benefits for participants include contributing and building community with a cohort from across the United States, as well as becoming members of a supportive network of CLS and U.S. Department of State's International Exchange alumni. CLS alumni receive access to professional development resources and other opportunities only open to alumni of U.S. Department of State programs. Next, let's quickly touch on eligibility and make sure you're all set to apply. Students are eligible for the CLS program if they are U.S. citizens or nationals enrolled in an accredited degree granting program at a U.S.-based institution at the time of applying. Participants must be 18 years old by May 15, 2026, and have completed at least 1 full year of college level study by the start of the program. Applicants for the CLS program may be at the undergraduate or graduate level. Students who are graduating seniors at the time of application and students enrolled in 1-year master's programs are eligible to apply. Students from any field of study can prepare a competitive application for the CLS program. We want applications from students from all majors at all levels of language learning, and we encourage students of all disciplines to think about how critical languages can help their careers.
Applicants for the 2026 CLS program are selected based on the following 4 components: commitment to language learning, preparation for and alignment with program expectations, contribution to citizen diplomacy and national impact, and finally, connection between language and academic and professional goals. All other factors being equal, the CLS program gives preference to veterans of the United States Armed Forces. Alumni of the 2025 CLS Spark virtual initiative who maintain eligibility and apply for the same CLS language will receive automatic semifinalist status.
So let's talk a little bit more about the application essays. The application for the 2026 CLS program will include 3 short answer essays and a personal statement. There is no letter of recommendation requirement. The first short answer essay will be on commitment to language learning, as Caitlin mentioned. Here, applicants will be asked to describe their interests in the target language and culture, reflect on challenges and opportunities in their language learning journey, explain how CLS fits into their goals, and outline plans for continued engagement beyond the program. The second short answer essay will be on preparation for the CLS program. Applicants will be asked to demonstrate how they're prepared to adapt to the challenges of an intensive language program and their host community, collaborate with peers, anticipate and address potential difficulties, and reflect on lessons learned from navigating unfamiliar situations. The third short answer essay will be on citizen diplomacy and national impact. Here, applicants will be asked to explain how they plan to engage with and learn from their host community, reflect on experiences that prepare them to serve as citizen diplomats, and describe how they will share the knowledge and skills gained through CLS upon their return to the United States. Lastly, there is a personal statement. In the personal statement, applicants will be asked to connect their academic and professional goals to their target language and culture, highlight the qualities and experiences that make them strong candidates, and describe how they will use what they learned through CLS to make a positive impact on the United States.
Overall, the themes of this year's application are similar to last year's and should feel familiar, though you will notice some shifts in emphasis. If you have applied before or already started to work on your application, please review the essay prompts closely to adjust to the new prompts this year. As always, we are looking for applicants who can clearly connect their participation in the CLS program to their academic and professional goals, and who are ready to take on the challenges of an intensive language-focused study abroad experience. The CLS program works in close partnership with faculty and staff members at colleges and universities all throughout the United States. These dedicated volunteers dedicate their time to serve as advisors and support students interested in applying for the CLS program, playing a crucial role in the success of the initiative. We highly recommend that you reach out to an advisor at the start of your application for guidance throughout the application process. You can see if there is a CLS advisor at your institution by visiting clscholarship.org/universities or using the QR code here on the screen. If there is no CLS advisor at your institution, other faculty might be able to provide suggestions for topics related to international aspects in specific fields for you. Writing centers, study abroad offices, fellowship or scholarship offices, or career centers are also available on many campuses for feedback on essays. As you refine your application, please remember to plan for timely submission. Staying organized and making use of the support networks available to you will help to ensure your application is as strong and compelling as possible when you are ready to apply for the 2026 CLS program.
The application for the 2026 CLS program is now open and will close on Tuesday, November 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. Pacific. We recommend submitting well in advance of the deadline to avoid any last-minute computer glitches that might prevent you from submitting on time. Notifications of semifinalist status will be sent by email in late January 2026. Finalists, alternates, and non-recipients will be notified by email in early March 2026. Students who are selected for the award will have about 2 weeks to either accept or decline the offer, at which point declined awards will be offered to alternate candidates.
At this point, I want to introduce, we actually have an alumni ambassador on this call, which is very exciting. I saw that Ashley popped in earlier. So I just want to give Ashley a quick moment to introduce herself. And then later during the Q&A, you'll also be able to ask her questions. But first, Ashley, if you have a moment, if you can just talk a little bit about what language you participated in, where you went on CLS, your current status, and just a little bit more background about yourself.
Yeah, of course. Can you hear me okay? And is it okay if I turn my camera on?
Yes, yeah, that's great.
Okay. I know, I apologize. I didn't realize everyone
No,
had their cameras off.
perfect.
Um, so hi everyone, my name is Ashley Wilson. I was a 2024 participant in CLS Japan. So I spent 8 weeks in Okayama, Japan, which is situated in between like Osaka and Hiroshima in the southern part of Japan. Um, just kind of like what I did there. Like, because currently I'm working as a CLS alumni ambassador, which is why I'm able to participate as a panelist today. Um, yeah, I mean, after the fact, I mean, I'm still studying Japanese and I'm currently a graduate student in global policy. And I think participating in CLS was a big part in the reason why I chose the program that I did. And I'm really excited to answer any questions that anyone has, or I would be happy to like message anyone after as well. So I hope I answered everything. Caitlin, please let me know if I missed anything.
No, that's great. And thank you so much for being here, Ashley. We really appreciate it, especially with all of your graduate classes. One follow-up question I would love to ask before we open it up to the group is, what was one of the most like rewarding aspects of the CLS program now that you've had some space from it and you have been continuing to learn and engage with Japanese since?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I would say the most like rewarding part to me was the cohort that I met during that time. If you can, okay, I was like worried I lost you guys. But yeah, I would say probably for me, just meeting everybody, like I have so many people that I'm still in contact with from my cohort, both Japanese students as well as Americans that I met while I was abroad. And once you meet those people, they're such an amazing network. Like I feel like I talked to quite a few people that I went abroad with almost every single day. And I'm going to be visiting Japan in January of 2026. And I'm actually going to be visiting quite a few people that I met. So that would be the most rewarding thing. And as well as the opportunity to become an alumni ambassador, I think is something that people should take into account if they're ever interested in doing a program like this. Being able to stay involved in this network has been really important to me because I feel like I really did, as corny as it sounds, have a really life-changing experience with CLS. Like, I definitely think it changed my outlook on living abroad and studying a language abroad. So yeah, I'm super thankful for all of it.
Thank you, Ashley, for sharing. And it's amazing to hear about the long-lasting relationships and also that you'll be able to go back to Japan very soon. It's very exciting. I just want to share some final information before we move on to questions. So we will be offering weekly office hours throughout the rest of the application period, where you can drop in and ask your questions to CLS staff and other alumni. You can register for these virtual events and more at clscholarship.org/events. Otherwise, you can call us or email us if you have any questions about the CLS program or the application. Our phone number is 1-202-833-7522, and our email address is cls@americancouncils.org.